Yo, real quick, let's just talk about testosterone, you guys. So there is a global, it's a bigger deal in the United States than anywhere else as far as I'm concerned, but it is a global thing where the testosterone levels, the average testosterone levels in men have declined something like 50% in the last 20 years or something. I don't know if I'm getting those numbers exactly right, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. It's significant, you know. So as men, we need testosterone, man, and having a lot of it is a good thing. It's a good thing, right? Testosterone is going to give you energy, confidence, endurance. It's going to help you recover better from workouts. It's going to help you sleep better. It's just going to help you move through the world with a more masculine authority. The thing is about testosterone, though, is a lot of men, they don't have the mental or the spiritual fortitude to deal with the high levels of testosterone. And this is your classic situation for most like adolescents and teenagers, right? This is why that's the age where most of us started getting into the corn, getting, you know, just busting nuts all left and right, chasing women, you know, because we started having all this testosterone, but we didn't have like the wisdom, the discernment, the spiritual strength, the groundedness to really wield that level of power, right? So testosterone is like power. It's a power source. So if you're gonna have a high power source, right, you got to be able to handle that, right? It's kind of like, you could compare it to like a vehicle. Imagine if you had a vehicle that just had like crazy amounts of horsepower and torque, but it had like a weak chassis or something, and you started flooring that thing, man, it's not going to perform, right? You're likely to crash the damn thing, right? If it doesn't have the right traction on the road. Let's put it that way, like grounding. Like if this is a vehicle with like crazy amounts of horsepower, but it doesn't have enough torque, it's a better analogy, and like the wheels aren't holding to the road like they should, then that car might spin out of control and crash, you know? That's kind of like a man with high testosterone, but low spiritual and mental discipline. We have to match these things, man. And a man becomes truly a powerful man when his testosterone is high, but also his mentality and his spirit is high, is fortified, is grounded, is strong, right? This is why I always talk about physical, mental, and spiritual strength all go together. Because if we become very spiritually strong, now we can deal with these increasing levels of testosterone. And going on SR definitely is going to increase your testosterone. Okay, so other ways we can increase our testosterone, because as a man ages, is a natural decline that happens, but it doesn't necessarily have to work like that. There's things that we can do and things that we shouldn't do, right? So it's actually, these days, it's probably more to do with the things that you shouldn't do than the things that you should do as far as increasing your testosterone, right? With the shouldn'ts, no tap water. You know, be very mindful about plastic, anything that came in plastic. Endocrine disruptors are everywhere these days. That's why the testosterone levels have declined. Also has to do with the American lifestyle and the American diet, the foods we're eating. Soy, you got to cut soy right out. No soy. No soy. Be careful about certain plants too. A lot of plants have phytoestrogens in them. Okay? So, fatty foods, opt for those, man. Egg yolks. So, you know, they told us cholesterol was bad. Bullshit. You need cholesterol to make testosterone. So that's a lie. Raw milk, okay? Beef organs, okay? Stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff you should be eating. No standard American diet, no processed, no garbage, none of that. No candy, none of that crap. No tap water, bottled water. You got to be very careful with that, okay? All of these things matter. The sedentary lifestyle, probably the biggest culprit. You got to stay moving, people. You want high testosterone as a man, you got to move. You got to push your body, right? But there's a limit, right? There's the concept of diminishing returns. If you overtrain too much, you might actually lose some testosterone. A good way to know whether your testosterone is good or not is how firm you are first thing in the morning, if you know what I mean. If you're waking up like rock hard, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. If you're not, you're probably a little deficient in testosterone. And so now there's some techniques you can apply to increase that, all right? Lift heavy weights. Sunshine. I can never say enough about the sun, man. And people give me crap about this, whatever. I know it's real. A lot of other brothers know it's real too. It's just, the proof's in the pudding, man. You get out there, especially in the morning, find a nice private place, get naked in the sun, spread your legs up at it, if you know what I'm saying. You know, that will absolutely increase your testosterone, you guys, I promise. No, you don't need any scientific study to prove it to you. Just try it and see what happens, okay? Do that, combine that with the elimination of all these things that lower your testosterone, like the sedentary lifestyle, the standard American diet, tap water, all of this crap, right? Soy, cut all that shit out. Start getting in the sun instead, right? Butt ass naked, okay? And then challenge yourself physically. Lift heavy stuff with proper technique, of course, you know, because we injure ourselves. So now we can't keep doing this stuff. So you got to be very, very conscientious of technique. That's why it's very important to find a trainer if you're new, okay? Somebody that can hold you accountable. Make sure that you're doing things the right way. By the way, I'm a personal trainer. You can reach out to me anytime. I can do online, in person, whatever. But lifting, if you're a man, lifting heavy stuff and challenging your body, sprinting, sprints up a hill, that kind of thing, man. Like think about how your ancestors lived, how they were hunting. Think about what went into a hunt, right? This is like, you're out there in nature, you're in the sun, right? You're amongst the trees, you breathe in the fresh air. And if you're hunting big game, man, that's hard work. And then let's say you kill that animal. But now you got to carry that shit back to the village. That's heavy. That's work, man. So our ancestors were putting in work. And then when they got that animal, you know what they did? They'd eat the heart. They'd eat the organs. They'd use the whole animal. You know, keep the bones. Maybe they were making bone broth. I don't know. Bone broth, by the way, excellent. And then they had all that meat. And that meat they got to eat after they busted their asses, often fasted. And maybe throughout the day they were grazing pieces of fruit, things that were light, sunshine, fruit, water. See what I mean? That's why if you live your life like that, you're going to get more masculine. It's a guarantee. So you got to think about how your DNA is, because it took millions of years, right, of evolution. The way people live now, it's only been happening for several decades. It's new. You know, this isn't normal. We've been domesticated, man. We're like on a human farm or some shit. So you want to have higher testosterone, you got to get like rewilded, right? Start thinking about how your ancestors lived. Busted their asses, man. Chopping wood, carrying water, hunting. Think about that. By the time it came time to eat, to feast at the end of the night, the men had been busting their asses all day long, right? One of my favorite workouts, you guys, is I'll go to the spring and I'll fill up a bunch of 5-gallon jugs with water, and I'll just do farmer carries with those things. I'll just walk as far as I can barefoot on uneven ground too, because it makes it even harder, that challenge, you know? And then there's some spiritual aspect to this too, is like when you challenge yourself as a man, there's some metaphysical thing too that happens where it's hard to explain, man, but your shoulders go back. You start to stand up taller. Even that increases your testosterone, you guys. There are actual studies on this, by the way. This is real shit, all right? So you want more testosterone? First of all, you cannot be a simp. Let me just throw that out there too. That's gonna lower your testosterone. And being in this like needy like state, and like you're just, every time a pretty girl walks by, oh yeah, you know, you look at the corn on the internet, man, that's gonna just plummet your, that cut all that out. Cut it out. I'm telling you. Because if you're a man, why you want to sell yourself short? Why you want to sell yourself short? Be a real man. But see, the thing is, there's dudes out there with high testosterone, but they have no spiritual connection. And those types of dudes can be very dangerous. The types of dudes that get in fights at bars and do stupid shit, get themselves in trouble, end up in jail. That's not where it's at, man. It's all about balance. That, you know, the best possible situation, you know, and this is kind of like, this is my goal, is like maximum testosterone, but maximum groundedness, maximum control over my mind and my body and my spirit, all of it. I want to be in control of all of it, but I want to have enough testosterone to know, if it comes down to it, I can handle myself in any situation physically, right? If it so happened that I needed to defend myself or somebody else physically, I can handle that because I'm tough and I'm confident and I'm fearless, because testosterone gives you that, right? But at the same time, I'm not driven by that. I'm in control of it. That's just like this energy that sits, that I can do whatever I want with. It's my choice. And I choose not to harm anybody with it. I choose to help people instead, right? Because you have this confidence, man, you become like an authority figure in the world. You become like a leader. That's how men are supposed to be. So, just a few tips on testosterone. Signing out. I love you guys. Peace.